Okay. So I'm going to show you all the first few pages of one of my trusts. And I'm going to show you the power of this and why. I'm going to show you some language that's like generational language. So, I mean, like, like change your whole life. I mean, like, like give you like total control over the way you're doing business. That's why, that's why we train people on how to operate out of trust because well, basically you start operating out of a trust, then you run the world. So yes, that's what we do for a living. That's the main thing that we do for a living is that we create trust. So if you want to have a trust created, you come to our financial IQ challenge. That's the best thing for you to do. And that's at myfinancialiqchallenge.com. All right. So just put challenge in the chat and you'll get the link. Okay. Just type in the word challenge. And then you can talk to us and you can talk to us at the beginning of November because we're very busy, very busy. We're doing a lot of people's trusts, especially this time of year, because everybody's trying to get that money back. So if you want to get some money back, then you don't have no time to waste. So just put challenge in the put challenge in the chat because we're not. That's how I operate. Okay, I don't have personal appointments and all that. It's just costs $50,000 to have a personal appointment. So you'd be much better off just coming to the challenge and learning what it is to do. And then the challenge link will be sent directly to you if you put challenge in the chat. Okay, that's how you get a trust from us. Come to the challenge. All right, so let me read the first couple. Let me show you how powerful this is, though. I'm just going to read to you the first couple of pages. All right, just the first couple of pages. It has my contents in here, and then look at page number 3. So page number 3 says, so it has the name of my trust, Rick Williams Trust, and then it says notice of special meeting. All right, so this particular trust I got here, was created in January 31st of this year. This particular trust was January 31st. So it says from Rick Williams, grantor. All right. So the first thing you want to know that's so powerful about the trust that we create is that you are the grantor of your own trust. So what does that mean to you? That means that you in control. You the one that created it. Not no attorney, especially some little bootleg attorney. You dig what I'm saying? Some little some attorney that's took a pledge with the Queen of England, who don't know nothing about no common law. All right, they ain't about to create you no common law trust because they ain't got a clue. They're like a broke detective. All right, so so this is we created this because we know common law. All right, we're not attorneys. All right, what I'm telling you is that if your attorney knew something about common law, he would already helped you. All right, so just put in if you want to chat if you want to trust, just put challenge in the chat and get the link to our next challenge because that's where you get it. We don't stop and have individual appointments with people. You come through the challenge, and then after the challenge, then if you decide you want to be a part of what we do, then we'll teach you what to do. All right. And the reason is because creating you a trust don't mean nothing if you don't know how to operate it. Okay. It don't mean nothing. We're not interested in that. Okay. We're not in a hurry. We're not frantic people. So we don't treat people like that. The way that we treat a person is you come to the challenge, you learn what's going on. You say, okay, um, I like what I heard, Brother Rick. What do I need to do next? Okay. Then at the end of the challenge, we give you an offer to tell you how to be with us so that we can teach you the trust life for a whole year because it's a lifestyle. All right. It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. It ain't no little 5 minute stuff. It's we teach you how to be rich forever. And your kids how to be rich. The next kids coming up, nobody will be able to take nothing from your family when you operate out of a private, like what I'm getting ready to read to you right now. All right. Nobody ever be able to G you. And if you want to come to the challenge, that's how you learn about how to get a trust from us. So just put in challenge in the chat if you want to come. All right. So watch this. So this look how cold blooded this is. All right. This just page number 3. All right. I'm finna teach you control. All right. I'm going to teach you what it's like to have generational money that can't nobody meddle in. All right. I'm going to teach you how to get folks about your business. Are you listening to me? And how you have the control and ain't nobody dictating stuff to you. Okay. I'm going to show you how to do it. All right. So this is page number 3. So it says Rick Williams Trust. Okay. Notice of special meeting. Dig this. January 31st, 2024, from Rick Williams, grantor, to Rick Williams. Now, how much control is that? I'm having a meeting, what, with myself. Is that power? I said, if that's power, put power in the chat. I said, is that power? How in the world are you gonna be absent from a meeting? Are you listen to me that you put on, and the only person you invited to the meeting is you? I said, is that power? You ain't got to worry about nobody breaking that appointment. Are you hearing me? Come on, who wants some power in your life? Put power in that chat. You better stop playing around with these folks, playing around with your money. Then somebody all up in this meeting is for me, myself, and I. All right. This is just the third page of my trust. I'm teaching y'all. This is trust language that I'm teaching. All right. And brother and sister, it's time for you to stop walking around here money weak. All right. That's why you ain't got enough money to last through the week because you're money weak. All right. But I came back here to infuse some power into your life. And when you got this is just the third page of trust. All right. I ain't gonna teach you nothing but the first 5 pages. And it's gonna blow your mind. All right. So I'm reading you verbatim what's on my trust. Okay. So all right. So it says from out, this is the notice of a special meeting. See, you ain't never heard this language before. So the way that the trust is created is that the grantor is the person who creates the trust. And that's you, not your attorney, not no, you don't get no attorney, no power attorney to create you no trust. No. All right. No, 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 no. Create your own stuff. All right. Now we help you to do it. But when you get your paperwork, I'm not your trustee. Ain't nobody out. Listen to me. Them trustees on Michael Jackson stuff, them old fake perpetrating trustees on Michael Jackson stuff. How they got this man 15 years after he did? They all up in court robbing the hell out of his estate. The IRS been charging them $700 million. Why? Because of that old weak trust that they got. They ain't get no private trust. I'm talking about the most. I'm talking about the most like notable human being maybe on the face of the earth. And he got, and okay, you said your trustees are your children. All right. Okay. I don't know about that. I would make my children co-trustees. God is booming. I don't know about that. I would make them either co-trustees or successor trustees. I don't know about making my children. My daughter's Shantice is my successor trustee. Shantae is my co-trustee. I don't know about letting nobody else be no trustee of my trust. Are you hearing me? Why? Because I'm not giving up the power of my trust. Are you hearing me? That's your anonymity. Are you digging what I'm saying? That's your what? That's your that's your power. That's your autonomy. Are you listening to me? So okay, co-trustees. All right. Now that makes sense. All right. If you want to make them co-trustees or successors. All right. Um so check it out. So this is the way a private, excuse me, this is the way a private, irrevocable, um, tax-free common law trust is written. All right. Now I'm just giving you the first couple of pages because when I'm talking to people and they talking about I got all this and I got all that, I'm like, that language is not right. Okay, that language isn't correct. And that stuff, you ain't gonna get no money back from the bank with that stuff. And your stuff ain't private. All right. Okay. You giving up your power when you give up your privacy. All right. Privacy equals power. Are you hear what I'm saying? Privacy equals power. I ain't got no church today. Y'all put it in the chat so you can remember this, okay? P equals P. Privacy equals power. Put it in the chat so you can remind yourself about what's going on. I'm showing y'all the first few pages of one of my trusts, okay? I have two different trusts. One is an asset protection trust, and I'm showing you the pages of it right now. And I'm telling you why I'm so private. All right. Now you would think I would even talk about this stuff in the public. But what? Remember, we are private people, not secret people. I'm not a Mason. I'm not a Baron. I ain't in none of them cults. Them things are cults. I don't get in cults. Okay. I'm a child of the living God, a child of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and his son Jesus Christ. That's how I roll. All right. So I'm not teaching you no cult activity, no idolatric activity. I don't get down like that. I call that stuff out. I'm like, I don't need no man crowning me, making me in the. I don't want to be no. I don't have no fake crown on me. Old fake crowns. You dig what I'm saying? I'm old fake. I'm old fake. How you gonna bow down to the King of Kings with a fake crown on your head? Man, that ain't gonna end up good. Hey, listen to me. First name Billy, last name Goat. So we private, but we're not secret. You dig what I'm saying? That's why I'm on here teaching you because I'm not no secret agent man. You dig what I'm saying? Secret agent man. Ain't nobody no secret agent man around here. But privacy mean can't nobody get in my business, even though I'm publicly telling you about it. Now, you dig what I'm saying? Why? Because all of this has to be honored because it's common law. What is common law? Biblical law. What is biblical law? Constitutional law. What does it mean? It means that you get paid time. What? Because you're the one that's in control. Are you hear what I'm talking about? All right. So here we go. So it's got my name. Then it says, what's the reason of this special meeting that I'm having with who? With me. Y'all know that's cold blooded. Who ready to have a meeting with they self to get rich? I said, who ready to have a meeting with they self to get rich? If that's cold blooded, everybody put CD in the chat. Ain't that cold blooded? I'm having a meeting with myself to get rich. Can't nobody interfere with the meeting. Why? Because it's between me and myself. Are you hearing me? This is the third page of my trust. Are you listening to me? I'm telling you how we set your stuff up. You want to get one. All right. On the third page of your trust, it's going to be chilly. When you pick it up, you're going to feel the wind blow by. You're like, that's cold blooded right there. Cold blooded. That's cold blooded. All right. So what's the reason of this meeting? The creation of a trust. Sir, here's a letter I'm writing, right? Who am I writing this letter to? Me. You can write a letter to you. Y'all, hey, come on. Y'all ever seen that? Y'all ever heard that cut about Shy Lights? My son, Ralph, my son, when he was about 10 or 11, I saw he was down there playing with my albums, right? I had some albums. And he would go down to the basement and start playing the albums. Excuse me. So Ralph can really sing. He got a really nice voice. So he called me one day. He said, hey, Dad. I said, what's that? He said, man, he said, these she-leads, man, they cold-blooded. I'm like, she-leads? Who is that? He's like, on the record cover right here. I said, that's the Shy Lights, Ralph. But one of their cuts was, I wrote a letter to myself, write a letter. I write another letter to myself. Man, it ain't nothing like writing a letter to yourself. That's cold blooded. Are you hear what I'm talking about? So I'm just on page number 3, and it's getting chilly up in here. It ain't getting hot in here. It's getting chilly, baby. Why? Because these private, irrevocable, tax-free trust is as cold as it get, baby. North Pole cold. Are you dig what I'm talking about? And if you want one, only one else you got to come through the challenge. So just put challenge in the chat and a link will be sent to you and just come to the next challenge. All right. Okay. Come to the next challenge. That's the only way we get down. We're not having no individual meetings and all that sort of thing. If you want to see me tell you how this stuff really go, come to the challenge and we break it down like a fraction. Okay. What's the fastest this private irrevocable trust can be created? Typically, we create trust in 2 to 3 weeks. Typically, that's about how long it takes. And that's based on you filling out your trust intake stuff. If you fill your stuff out, then we'll be done in about 2 weeks. If you fill your stuff out, because we only take so many, every month. Like our capacity for this month was 20 trusts. So that's what we did this time. And that's why when you sign up for that financial IQ challenge and you want to start making some money like we make money, how we get our money back from the bank, then, you want to get in where you fit in. And if you wait until like December, then you ain't gonna really even be starting until next year. But if you want to get some of that money back this year, then boom, come to the challenge that's in November that's coming up. You say, come on, brother Rick, why don't you make some special exceptions? Man, ain't nobody finna kill me. I don't get down like that. 62 years old, man. My blood pressure is 118/77. I don't even need no money. So I'm just telling y'all what's going on, and y'all get in and come on, handle your own business. All right. Okay. So, sir, I'm writing this letter to myself. Sir, a meeting is hereby called to discuss the creation of a trust under the common law on January 31st, 2024 AD at 9 a.m. in Indianapolis, Indiana, Republic. Oh, that's cold-blooded language. Are you hearing me? This is the language of a tax-free irrevocable trust. Okay, says the name of this trust is Alfred Frederick Williams. That's my whole name, Rick Williams Trust. All right, so it says your attendance will be greatly appreciated. Okay. What is that? I don't know if all right. Okay, so it might, the storm been downtown back here. So I mean downtown, been down here in Florida. Praise God, ain't nothing happened to us. We okay. 6 people died so far on the coast, Florida down here. So I'm just grateful that we okay. All right. And I'm grateful that you okay if you're in the Florida area. If you're anywhere down here, and our prayers go out to you. What's your question here? How do you get all your trust deposits back? You get your trust deposits back. First of all, it's got to be a tax-free, irrevocable trust. And in order for you to get your deposits back, there are a few forms that you have to file to go along with it. So this is what we do for you all. We help you create your own trust. All right. So you have to file a 1099-A so that the bank don't file it against you, because the bank says that you don't want your bank deposits back. So they file this 1099-A. So you have to file it, make sure they don't. You have to file a 1099 OID. That's original issue discount, because the bank's filing is saying that they are you, saying that they are the creditor that's putting the money in the bank and not you. So the trust in those two forms, those are two things that you have to file. And then there are other things that you have to file to get your deposits back. All right. So that's a question that you come through the challenge, and then we get down and we just break the whole thing down so you can know what's going on. So again, just put challenge in the chat if you want to come and learn how to get this trust the way we make it. All right. Challenge. Okay. Or you can pay $50,000 for an appointment. All right. And I'll just break everything down to you. If you want to pay that kind of money for an appointment, that's all right with me. I'll take it, but I don't want it. All right. Oh, I don't want it. What I really want is just you to come to the challenge. All right. That's what I really want. All right. So y'all can hear me? Y'all say I'm muted? Can y'all hear? If y'all can hear, just put yes in the chat. All right. There's no sound. Yeah, I think y'all can still hear. All right. Okay. All right. So if you can hear, just put yes in the chat if you can hear, so I can make sure y'all can hear. All right. Let's get to the next page. Okay. So this is what I really love about this. I said, the name of this trust is my trust, Rick Williams Trust. All right. Your attendance would be greatly appreciated. Being cordially signed by me. Come on, let's go. Let's go. It's just page 3. All right. So what does that mean? That means that I'm the grantor of my own trust and I'm in total control. All right. If you want to be in total control, just put I don't some of y'all ain't read my book. That's the first book I wrote, Control Everything, All Nothing. So if you want to be in total control and you ain't read my book yet, just put control in the chat and they'll send you the link and scoop it up. All right. And start seeing how you can this is total. That's why I wrote the book. That's why it's the first book I wrote when I started learning about this trust stuff. I was like, oh man, it's cold blooded. I said I got to write a book to get everybody on the right track. So if you want the book, just put control in the chat, and it's just and the link will be sent to you, so you can get you a book. All right, so I'm in total control right here, and you can be in total control too. That's up to you. All right, so that's just page number 3. All right, now look at page number 4. All right, so number 1, I'm the grantor in total control. All right, now here's page number 4. Minutes of special meeting of the minds to create a trust by private contract. Did you hear what I just said? I said minutes of special meeting of the minds to create a trust by private contract. What does that mean? That means that anytime that you want to add something to your trust, okay, because all of our trusts are irrevocable, okay? So anytime you want to add something to your trust, you add it by a minute. Minutes, like the word minute, minute by minute by minute. So you add things by minutes. And so you can add and take away at your own discretion. Why? Because you are the grantor of the trust. And now I'm going to show you how you got so much control until you're the grantor and the trustee. So you say, so when you file a trust tax refund, a trust tax return, a 1041, not a 1040, it has categories of what kind of trust do you have. And the one that you click off when you got a private irrevocable trust is that you are the grantor. You the one who created this trust. All right. And the beautiful thing is that you the trustee too. Why? Because on this page, number 4, you create yourself as a trustee because you're about to have a meeting, minutes of special meeting of the minds to create a trust by private contract. As I said, you can go into a private contract with yourself. Did you hear me? I know. Anybody getting excited around here? I feel like running down the street and just taking this pimp hat off and screaming for a few seconds. I say, anybody getting excited? Are you getting excited, right? If you get put I'm excited in that chat so I can make sure I ain't talking to myself. Anybody else getting excited, right? Put I'm excited. Are you getting excited up in here about having a meeting with yourself? I said, are you getting excited about having a meeting with yourself? Ain't no way in the world you ain't gonna show up. You know why? I'm a control freak. I don't know about you, but I am a control freak. Are you hearing me? I don't like people in my business. I'm just gonna tell you, I'm just gonna tell it how it is. I don't like losing. Okay? I don't like losing. I don't like losing. I don't like playing with my money. I don't like I don't like people having control over my money. Are you hearing me? What about you? How you feel about this thing? I'm excited about the idea that I have a trust that I invited myself to the meeting and I had a meeting of the minds. It was what? Me with myself. Let's go. All right, let's go. So, are you speaking of the transfer of trust estate under the Miners Act in order to claim the assets that are held by the U.S. Treasury? No, I'm not speaking of the Miners Act, dear. What I'm speaking of is a private, irrevocable, tax-free trust that you can create yourself, walk into the bank and get your bank deposits back because they ain't got no choice but to give them to them. That's what I'm talking about. And all your assets in the trust are not taxable, and all your assets in the trust are unsuable. Ain't nobody sue you because it ain't you. All right. You can be sued. People can take your stuff, but they can't take the stuff from your trust. The trust is unsuable. Hey, listen to me. Listen, live a life so that you can tell a person how you really feel about it. Are you hearing what I'm saying? When your stuff, you get limited liability companies, and I got some little limited liability companies, but that ain't the stuff that make me rich. Stuff that make me rich is my private trust. Why? Because the real money and the real assets and stuff, they get transferred into the private trust. You say, why is that? Because I speak my mind. I don't scratch when I ain't itching, and I don't laugh when I ain't tickled. Why? Because you can't take nothing away from me because the trust controls it. And you can not like me and not like none. Don't make me no never mind whether you like me or not. Well, I ain't gonna lose no sleep. You should take me sleeping and you'll see how much sleep I lose over what somebody think about me. Sleep, snoring. The only person snoring harder than me is Shante. Like, girl, you awful fine to be snoring like that. All right, let's get to the next point. All right, so we're talking today about the power of a private trust. And I'm literally reading my trust to you. All right. Okay. So I'm showing you how we get down, get down. How we might be funny over here. We might be cracking a lot of jokes. We might be funny, but we ain't no joke. All right. The way that we get down, can't nobody do us. Ain't nobody G me. Can't nobody play me. Can't nobody take my, ain't nothing happen. You dig what I'm saying? Impenetrable. You dig what I'm saying? Um, so here's the letter. A minutes. This is page number 4. Minutes of special meeting of the minds to create a trust by private contract. All right. So for some of you all, you haven't read Hale versus Hinkle. You haven't read it. You need to read Hale versus Hinkle. You need to read it in its entirety and realize that you have a right to a private contract. You got a right to have a contract with you. Why? Because you have to create a real person because you ain't no real person. You're a debtor. So you ain't getting no money from the bank. All right. This stuff I'm talking about talking to you until you get private. Excuse me. Until you operate out of a private trust, you ain't getting no money from the bank. You ain't got a dollar coming. Why? Because you ain't private. You public. All right. You might as well be using a bathroom in the middle of Central Park. That's how public you are. All right. Yeah, that's how jacked up that is. There ain't no privacy in that. Are you hearing me? This a private common law trust is you go in the bathroom and the door is shut with a vault and you can take care of your private business. All right, listen to me. All right. You said it perfects the transfer returns nationally and constitutionally protects. Okay, yeah. That's good. That's good. That's good. It says keep teaching what you're teaching. All right, so all right, let's finish reading this page though. All right. So January 31st, 2024 AD, to whom it may concern. To whom it may concern. Who's concerned? Me. I'm the one that's concerned. Man, ain't nothing like writing a letter to yourself. People think you're crazy when you write a letter to yourself. Now, when you write a letter to yourself, it show you how powerful you are. Why? Because you ain't gonna object. Who in the world gonna object to their own money? Hey, listen to me. I said, who in the world is going to object to their own money. Are you hear what I'm saying? All right. So everybody put it in the chat. Put no objection. All right. Are you ready to get this money? And you're not gonna you're not gonna object to your own money. If you're not gonna object to your own money, put no objection. All right. All right. Your Honor, uh, are you trying to say that I'm about to back my bank deposits? That's correct. Are you trying to say that I got the right to operate in privacy? That's correct, sir. Ma'am, that's correct. Are you trying to say that I can put my assets inside of this trust and the assets become trust assets? Yeah, that's what we're telling you, sir. Ma'am, are you trying to say that when I pay my light bill and my water bill and my gas bill, I can pay them in the name of the trust and write off every payment? That's exactly what we're telling you. Are you trying to say that if I write off all of my payments and I wipe all my taxes out, that I have tax credits left over on my 1041? That's exactly what we're saying to you. Do you have any objections to that? No objection. No objection. Look, take yourself to court. Are you listening to me? You don't want to be in these little jackleg courts. These courts are banks. All right. There are banks, subsidiaries of the United States Corporation of America. That's what these courts are. So you ain't got no win up. You ain't gonna get no money like that. Take yourself to court. Are you dig what I'm saying? You know what? No objections. No objection. I am going to object to my own wealth. Are you listening to me? And I doubt that you would too. So here it is. This is my I'm reading y'all my private contract. All right. If y'all want me to keep reading, put read on. All right. Put read on. Are y'all getting some out of this? Then I'm reading you my private contract. My private contract that make me rich and can't nobody do nothing about it. And then you can have the same thing for yourself too. Anybody else? Put read on in the chat if y'all want me to keep reading, because I might be boring y'all. Y'all might just be I don't know. I need at least 10 of y'all to keep me charged up over here. Y'all want me to keep reading? All right. I can't tell. Y'all want me to keep reading? All right. Y'all want me to keep reading? Okay. Okay. Y'all want me to keep reading? Y'all want me to keep reading? All right. Let's go. All right. Let's go. All right. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Okay. All right. Let me see. Who paying attention over here? Fitzroy. I'm gonna keep reading because you asked me. Who else over here? Munchie Meal. I'm gonna keep reading because you asked me. All right. Who else want me to keep reading over here? Natalia. I'm gonna keep reading because you asked us. Karen. I'm gonna read on because you asked me. Sister Leslie. You know what? I'm gonna keep reading because you asked. Matthew, I'm gonna keep reading too because you. Who else want? Ben. All right, Ben. I'm gonna keep reading because you asked me. All right, keep asking. Okay, I'm gonna just because you asked. All right. G Mo. I'm gonna keep reading because you asked, bro. All right, Stewart. I'm gonna keep reading because you. Quinn Son. Love that name. That sounds like a queen from I don't know from. That sounds like the Queen of Sheba or something. Quinn Son. I love that name. Melvin. I'm gonna keep reading. All right. I'm gonna keep reading. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Let's go. So I'm just on page number 4, and what I'm teaching you all is I'm literally reading my trust to you, and why the wording is so dynamic, and why a common law trust is so powerful, and why everything else have to do what? Bow down. You hear what I said? Everything else got to do what? Bow down. All right. Who want to live like that? Ain't you tired of walking into money places and money situations, and you got to do all the bowing? Man, miss me with that. All right. Give me the document that makes what the money system have to do what? Bow down to me. You see, the government was never meant for you to be serving the government. The government was always meant to be serving you. Oh, I know. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Yeah, that'd be cool if we were serving a country, but we serving a company. Are you hearing me? That ain't nothing but game. Make you feel patriotic. Are you dig what I'm saying? And pimp slapping us taste out your mouth. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? And tricking folk and misleading people and got people thinking, what, that ain't nothing but game, you know. So you can't, how you gonna have allegiance to somebody's company that's getting rich off of you? You ain't, listen, how much sense do it make to be dealing with a bank and walking to the bank and the only person getting something out of it is the bank? All right. No. And then try to make me feel like it's something wrong with me because I got common sense. Common law is common sense. All right. All right. But common sense ain't necessarily so common. Sound to me like it's a bunch of y'all listening right now that's got some common sense. If you want to learn how to get this trust, just put challenge in the chat and get the link to the challenge and come to the challenge, because that's where I break it down like a, that's why I break down our whole lifestyle in the challenge. Okay. All right. So to whom it may concern, On January 31st, a special meeting was convened in Indianapolis, Indiana, Republic, in order to arrange for the creation of a trust. This is me, all right? Attendance said meeting were Rick Williams as grantor, Rick Williams by proxy. Boy, ooh, if you knew your rights, you'd be excited right there. If you knew your rights, that was your chance to shout right there. That's your chance to shout right. Attending the meeting is me as the grantor and me as the proxy. All right. So that means what? Ain't nobody finna eject up in here. I hear what I'm saying. All right. This meeting was called to order at 9 a.m. After due consideration by all concerned. Oh, don't y'all love this language? After due consideration by all concerned, it was unanimously agreed to accept a proposal to create a trust. All right. Why is it unanimous? Why is it unanimous? Why? Because what? Because I'm gonna always agree with me. How you hear what I'm saying? You know what a trust does? You know what a trust does? A trust makes you congruent. With who? With yourself. How you hear what I'm talking about? You got rights that you ain't practicing. What? But you, in order for you to get paid, you just gotta agree with you. All right? If you agree with you about getting paid, put I agree in the chat. Come on, I'm teaching y'all language you ain't never heard in your life. Are you listening to me? If you agree with you being rich, if you agree with you being private, if you agree with you not having nobody else in your business, if you agree with you, put I agree in the chat. All right? Because you don't need nobody else to agree. Are you hearing me? Mr. Menace, I agree with you. Kim, I agree with you. All right, come on. Ebony, I agree with you. Come on. Savas, I agree with you. All right. Barta, I agree with you. All right. You agree with yourself. I agree with you too. All right. I agree with you. All right. I agree with you too. Raymond, I agree with you too. Melvin, I agree with you too. All right. Let's go. Brian, I agree with you too. Kendra, I agree with you too. Who else agree with themselves? Circle small, wall tall. I agree with you too. Carl, I agree with you too. I am K Jones. I agree with you too. All right. Dunn Senior D, I agree with you too. Tamara, I agree with you too. Who else want to agree with themselves? Come on, Lewis, I agree with you too. Are you listening to me? Are you listening to me? I agree with you too. So when you agree with yourself and you're the only person that can make decisions, then what everybody else, whatever everybody else say, who cares? It don't make no difference what they say because they ain't the one that calling those shots. You the one calling the shots. Why? Because you got control. And again, if you don't have my book, just put control in the chat so you can get that book if you came here late. All right. That's my first book, Control Everything. Don't own nothing. I'm a control freak. If you want to learn how to get some control, put control in the chat in the book and the link will come to you too. All right. Okay, so I'm agreeing with myself after due consideration by all concerned. I just love I love that. After due consideration. See, y'all don't understand the power of words. The way that we write trust, the power in the words, the way that we write these things. All right. My trust team that writes the trust up, the way that we write these things, man, we in total control. The way that we write this stuff. Are you listening to me? The words is what give you control. It says what? It says, after due consideration by all concerned, it was unanimously agreed to accept the proposal to create a trust. I'm like, what? What? Man, I'm in my right mind. So what? I unanimously agree with me. Same thing for you. Same thing for you. Same thing for you. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. God ain't no respected persons. You hear me? He took a dude from the projects just like me, from homeless just like me, and I got control over my life. And you can have control over your life too. All right. Don't nobody got control over you but you. All right. Just agree with you. And then learn how to operate in privacy so that you can have some doggone control. All right. All right. So so, and to perform all necessary and essential duties and proper formation of the same. Don't y'all love that language, boy? That sound like you. That sound like a marriage proposal, don't it? All right. He said, after due consideration by all concerned, the following was unanimously agreed that. All right. So this is what everybody that was concerned agreed to. In other words, me, myself, and I. We all agreed to this. All right. This page number 4. This is your right. You got a right to agree with yourself. All right. This is your private right. All right. So the trust shall be created under American common law, right of contract law. All right. So I went to a bank. All right. And I went to Regions Bank. All right. So I went to Regions Bank to open this trust. And we say, sir, we sent this trust to our legal department. I'm like, and it's like, it's a common law trust. I said, you better believe it, baby. Well, you better believe it, baby. Everybody put it in the chat. Believe that. All right. Everybody put it in the chat. Believe that. Why in the world would I be opening up any other kind of trust? I don't want no statutory law trust. All right. It's a common law trust. All right. Come on, come on, come on. Because don't let anybody punk you. All right. So I'm like, of course it's a common law trust. All right. So everybody put in the chat. Believe that. All right. Believe that. Believe that. Believe that. Believe that. All right. Yeah. Let them know that. Don't be backing up when they tell you your stuff common law. Be like, yeah, believe that, player. All right, that's what it's common law on purpose. Look, this ain't no happenstance over here. Why? Because that's the only way I'm gonna have some control if I operate up under private common law. I ain't gonna have no control coming in here with a statutory trust. What? You can create that. Matter of fact, I had banks had the audacity to tell me, hey, you know what? We create trust right here. I was like, it'd be a cold day in hell before you create my trust. What? Because I don't trust you. How in the world am I gonna let somebody I don't trust create my trust? And why should I trust you? All my life I've been making deposits and you've been keeping all the money. And you're trying to give me a return on the money. I don't want a return on the money. I want a return of the money. I'm the one that put the money in here. I'm the reason why you building these amazing edifices and buying islands. You dig what I'm saying? And all y'all kids going to Harvard. What the hell going on around here? I want to eat just like you. All right. So what? How in the world? Ain't nowhere in the world you've been pimp slapping me all my life, and then I'm gonna come in and say pimp slap me some more and make me some little fake trust. No. And you know how many people running around right now with statutory trust? Most of y'all. Most of y'all got a living trust. You got a living, revocable statutory trust. Taxable, can be challenged in court when you dead and gone. Don't get no money back from it. Why? Because it ain't private. You dig what I'm saying? No protection. It's just a glorified will. Are you dig what I'm talking about? Just a glorified will. That's all a living trust is. And a whole title of it is a lie. Why? Because it ain't nobody getting no money while you're alive. So it ain't no living nothing. Only way somebody gonna get some money is you gotta die. Then they're gonna tax the hell out that money when you die. And they can still take your stuff to probate court if somebody would contest your stuff. Why? Because the writing is not correct. And I'm gonna read to you right now why can't nobody contest my stuff. Are you listening to me? Look, when you operate the way we do, hear me good. It's like being a basketball player. When you go to the hole, ain't nobody contest your shot. Are you hearing me? Why? Because you are above the rim. Are you hearing me? Can't nobody contest your shot when you shooting down into the rim. Are you hearing me? If you throwing some stuff up there, people can slap that mess out of bounds. That's what a living trust is. Are you hearing me? A living trust, somebody can slap out of bounds. How do we know? Because it's revocable. And when something is revocable, see y'all got this. Y'all been listening to these country cats giving y'all advice, and they telling you, man, if it's revocable, that means that you won't be able to change anything later. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Did you hear what I said? What? Are you Stevie Wonder, little brother? Lying Wonder? All right, because that stuff ain't true. What you just got through saying. That's just some stuff you just made up. All right. The reality is that irrevocable trust, mean can't nobody come back later talking about you was tripping when you made it. So they can't take your stuff to court. Ain't no irrevocable trust in court. Are you hearing me? Only revocable trust are in court. Revocable living trust, they take that stuff to court on a regular basis. How do I know? Because Michael Jackson is in court, family is in court right now. Are you listening to me? They stuff is public. They stuff ain't private. And that dude was super rich. Michael was super rich, super rich, super rich, super famous and all that. But what? Had some busters representing him. Why? Because only a buster would sell you a revocable trust. Are you hearing me? They don't care about you. All right? Either they ignorant or they greedy or both. All right? Are you hearing what I'm talking? This is your money. Don't you let nobody put no trickeration on you about your money. Are you hearing me? This is your life. This is your estate. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? You don't let nobody come into it and just sell you some stuff. Just you better investigate this stuff. You better read and pay attention to stuff. That's why we have a challenge once a month. Why? Because so that you can get educated. All right. So if you ain't been to our challenge, just put challenge in the chat and come to the next one. The next one is in November because that's how we get down. That's where you learn everything it is that we do. So just put challenge in the chat and you'll get the link if you want to come to that. All right. So um man, it's just amazing. This is just page number 4. All right. Said after due consideration by all concerned, the following was unanimously agreed that the trust shall be created under American common law. All right. See, American law is common law. The United States Corporation of America law is statutory law, but American law is common law. So I'm proud to be what? An American, because Americans operate up under common law. I ain't trying to be I ain't happy about being no United States citizen. Hey, they're gonna say it because they're a company. But America, that's cool. All right. America is the bomb diggity. Are you hearing me? Why? Because America operates up under God's law. The United States Corporation of America, they make up all kind of stuff. Are you hearing me? They just make up stuff. You dig what I'm saying? Because they are influenced by the Queen of England and the Vatican. So because that's how they get down, then they make up stuff that fits that culture. But I don't serve cults. Are you hearing me? I don't want no cult all up in my business. Are you dig what I'm talking about? I ain't bowing down to no foolishness, to no man. I'm like Shadrach, Meshach, and a bad Negro. I'm at least that third one. All right. Anybody else? Are y'all one of them 3 amigos? If you want the 3 amigos, put 3 amigos in the chat. All right. Okay. If you just one of them 3 amigos, and when I get to heaven, I'm gonna show holler at them Shadrach, Meshach, and a bad Negro. I'm like, boy, y'all some bad boys, boy. I love the way that y'all wouldn't bow down when they played all that music. They say, man, we ain't bowing down to nothing, man. What? Why? Because we practice common law. All right. We don't practice statutory law. We ain't bowing down to your statutes. Are you dig what I'm saying? We don't get out with no idolatry. Are you hearing me? It ain't nothing you can do that's gonna change my. You talking about I got a pistol to your head, but pull the trigger, player. Why you steady talking about it? Don't talk about it, be about it. All right. You're gonna do something, do what you're gonna do. All right. Because you ain't gonna change my mind. It ain't nothing happening. All right. Because why? Because we don't bow down to idols. Okay, so the situs of the trust shall be in the United States of America under the full faith and credit of the several states. All right. The default beneficiary of the trust shall be, and then I got all my kids that's lined up as beneficiaries. All right. The trust shall be known as Rick Williams Trust, and it shall remain until such time as shall be duly changed. All right. It shall remain until such time as shall be duly changed. So what's that telling you? That's telling you that even though my trust is irrevocable, hey Daryl, how you doing, bro? Tell your wife I said hi. So even though my trust is irrevocable, it can be duly changed. All right. Okay. So that lays that to rest. What people talking about, brother Rick, you got that irrevocable trust, man. You stuck like Chuck in a pickup truck. If you ever mind, you can't change your mind. I'm like country Negroid. Would you please stop telling me stuff you heard somebody else say? You don't read, and I know you ain't got no irrevocable trust. Why? Because you're just saying stuff out the side of your neck. Why? Why? Your lips ain't even moving. Why? Because you're talking out the side of your neck. All right? The side of your neck, man. Get some neck surgery. All right? Everybody put it in the chat. So every time somebody, one of these country bumpkins start telling you some stuff that ain't real, put NS in the chat because they need some neck surgery. All right? They're talking out the side of their neck. Anybody been talking out the side of their neck to you? Put NS in the chat. All right? It'll remind you the next time somebody telling you something that ain't got no foundation to it. You know what? Tell them to get some neck surgery. Talking out the side of your neck, player. I ain't got no church. I wish I had a church in the middle of the day. I wish I had a church, boy. Tell them to get some neck surgery. Talking to me out the side of your neck. That's out the side of your neck, player. Your lips ain't even moving. All right. All right. So that's page number 4. All right. So let me give you page number 5. All right. All right. So trustee appointment. All right. So this is we about to land this plane. All right. Trustee appointment. Okay. January 31st, 2024 AD. Rick Williams receiving mail in care of. Boom, boom, boom. That's my address. All right. So that's where my mail comes. My multi-million-dollar mail. Mail me a check there. All right. Okay. Sir, conditional to your acceptance, You have been appointed trustee for the above trust. Please consider this letter as the equivalent of as an offer to contract. An offer to contract with who? With me. What? I'm the grantor appointing the trustee to my trust. Who am I appointing? Me. Did you hear what I said? Is this total control or what? I said, is this total control? Everybody put TC in that chat. See, a little control don't help. You need total control when you're dealing with money. Why? You don't give nobody no chance to G you or they will. Are you hearing me? Ain't nobody G'ing me. Why? Because I got total control. Put TC in that chat if you want total control. Not a little bit, not 3/4. Why? Because when you leave a little window open with people, when it come down to money, people act a fool. Are you hearing me? And what? They say, oh, what? Come on and wiggle it just a little bit. Let me see you. They be trying to what? Wiggle it just a little bit. They be trying to get in your business. You dig what I'm saying? But you ain't gonna get in this business over here. Why? Because we in total control. Why? Because the grantor is me. Doing what? Appointing me as a trustee. So you ain't got nothing to do with this. You hear what I'm saying? This is how you create a trust. Not no lawyer talking about, hey man, I want to be your power of attorney. I'm like, man, you must be smoking some Snoop Doggy Dogg weed straight from the fields of Long Beach, California. Player, ain't no way I know. It'll be a super cold day in here, 25 below in hell. Before what? You be my trustee. Well, I don't trust you, Holmes. Ain't no way in the world I'm gonna let you be the trustee in my. I'm making all the money, and you gonna make the decisions. Oh no, 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 no. I'm the one that created the money that went into this trust. So what? I'm gonna be the grantor of it, and I'm gonna be the trustee of it. And why? Because I know ain't no shenanigans gonna go on over here. Because why? I'm appointing myself as the trustee. All right. But listen to the language. Ain't this beautiful language? I said, isn't this beautiful language? Man, words mean everything, you all. Words mean everything. If your wording ain't right, you ain't getting none of this money. Are you listening to me? If you love beautiful language, put BL in the chat. Don't you love beautiful language? Don't you love beautiful language? Is so important. Words are so important because words matter. Because words are matter. Are you listening to me? Words matter because words are matter. What's your question? How far can you go back with deposits? Your deposits are based on when you open up your trust. Not last week, last month, last year. Get your mind off of that. Okay. Get your mind on right now. Just don't keep making the same mistakes. All right. Just don't keep doing the same stuff you was doing. Don't worry about that. Cut that stuff off. Get that stuff out your mind. All right. That's not the way this works. The way this works is once you start operating, the day you put your first deposit in, now boom, now you're on the other side of money. Now you operating as a creditor. Now everything that you put into the debtor system is due back to you. Okay. Once you start operating out of the trust. All right. Beautiful language. So look at this beautiful language. All right. Conditional to your acceptance. All right. You have been appointed trustee for the above trust. Please consider this letter as the equivalent of an offer to contract. Man, it don't get no more beautiful than that. Look how beautiful you talk to yourself. Are you hearing me? When you learn this common law language, you stop treating yourself so bad. Why you think we don't put up with no foolishness out of people? Look at the way we talk to ourselves. This is me talking to myself inside my own trust. Are you hearing me? Now, I got some amazing geniuses that work with me. All right. And they're the ones that help put this language together on my behalf, that work with us, that you get access to when you become part of our program and all of that. But this language is so beautiful because this is the way you should talk to yourself. Imagine yourself writing yourself a letter and inviting yourself to go do something. And then telling yourself, listen, it's just an offer for you to consider. Can you see how beautiful that is? Talk to yourself that way. Once you start talking to yourself that way, you won't put up with other people talking to you any old kind of jacked up way. Well, you'll be like, my language to myself is beautiful language. Language is so important until they put some bad words on the side of some flowers and the flowers died from the words. That's how much language give life and death. That's why you have to have the correct language inside of a trust to have a real common law trust. If the language ain't correct, ain't nothing happening. All right. You're not going to get paid because the language is not right. All right. So I'm talking to myself, and this is the offer I give myself. I said within 20 days, excuse me, within 20 days from the signing of this acceptance agreement, you may acknowledge your signing of the declaration of trust and receipt of the trust property before a public or private notarial officer duly authorized to take acknowledgments. You may then resolve to take any action according to the declaration's provisions which you deem proper in the administration of the affairs of the trust. In other words, now you're the trustee. Now you have total control, but you have zero liability. Man, does it get any better than that? I said you got total control of the trust activity, but you got zero liability. Why? Because the liability is not on you. The liability is in the trust. So what does that mean? That means that you can go out and put $20,000 into a crib out the trust that you buying, and the person run off, and the crackheads come and steal all the copper and run down the street. You know how y'all are when y'all be trying to flip these cribs and stuff. Crackheads steal all the copper and run down the street. You know, and they smoking the antenna. Ain't nobody got cable for miles. You dig what I'm saying? So, so now can't nobody come to you as a trustee talking about, man, you just tricked off $20,000 out of this trust. You like, I have the right to mess money up. I ain't Jesus Christ. All right. How dare you try to put so much pressure on me until every move I make got to be perfect. If I make a move and it ain't perfect, I got a right to make a bad move. I'm a human being. All right. Okay. I make mistakes. So ain't no liability on you because you made a mistake. Now, let me give you a caveat. I ain't talking about if you start pimping and selling dope out your trust. Talking about Brother Rick said, ain't no liability over here. All right. It's pimps up. Now, no, I ain't talking to you. All right. You got issues. All right. You need Jesus. Okay. You need some salvation. You dig what I'm saying? You need your crooked ways straightened up. I ain't talking about you, player. All right. You got liability and with God too, on top of all that. That's what you need to be worried about, your God account. All right. I'm talking about anything that you do, any mistakes that you make inside of the trust that are illegal, you have no liability for it. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. And and the trust ain't got no tax liability. Why? Because it's a tax-free trust. So that means that now the stuff you used to pay taxes on that you transfer over to the trust, you don't pay taxes on it no more. Are you hearing me? You say, Ricky, I want one of those trusts. We'll come to the challenge. All right. Just put challenge in the chat and you'll automatically get the link. Okay. And if you haven't read my book, put control in the chat so you can start educating yourself because my book link will come to you. All right. That's the first two things I would do. If you never met me in your life, you're like, Brother Rick, I like how you roll. I want to get out. I'm like, okay. So the first two things I would do is I would educate myself by coming to the challenge and I would get my book. All right. My book is thin on purpose. So you'll actually read it. Okay. All right. And if you just read the online version, you'd be done in about, I don't know, hour and a half or something like that. You know, I do things so people will do something. I don't like being around folks just talking. It's a boring life. I don't like being around talkers. I like being around folks that do what? That take action. You hear what I'm saying? So yeah, if you don't have the book, put control, it'll come to you. And if you haven't been to the challenge, put challenge in the chat and the link will come to you. And then you sign up for the challenge and come on with it. All right, that make way more sense than paying me $50,000. All right, just come to the challenge and learn what's going on. All right, so then sincerely, who? Received by who? Me, Rick Williams. Why? And accepted. So I accepted the appointment of being a trustee from me. I'm the grantor and the trustee, and you could be the same way. All right, you can be the grantor and the trustee. You hear what I'm saying? You can be the grantor and you can be the trustee at the very same time inside of your trust. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? Are you hearing what I'm saying? All right, let's go. All right, so number 6, certificate of trust. All right, so this seals the deal. So everybody put STD. All right, seals the deal. This is what seals the. We just getting started. My trust is 30 pages long. All right, and if you get an asset protection trust from us, it's 30 pages long. 30 pages of the most incredible fire you ever had in your life. All right, so but when you just get to page 6, you done already sealed the deal, right? Watch. This is certificate of trust right here. All right, certificate of trust. All right, everybody put COT, certificate of trust. The COT is the STD. All right. The COT is the STD. All right. The certificate of trust is what seals the deal. All right. This before you even get to all of the body of the trust. Are you saying are you hearing what I'm saying? So here we are. The name and address of the currently acting trustee of the trust are as follows. So it's got my name and my address. Okay. Then the trust is currently in full force and effect. All right. You see the language right there? The trust is currently in full force and effect. That means that everything that we're talking about right now is in effect right now. All right. It's in effect right now, not later, not nobody. It's in full effect right now. It says attached to this certificate of trust and incorporated into it are the selected provisions of the trust evidencing the following. All right. So here's the evidence of what this trust represents. First page of the trust, appointment of trustees. So we already did that, right? So everybody put done in the chat. We already did that, right? Did we already do that? We already got the trustee, right? I could have made more. I could have had more than one trustee. I could have had co-trustees. I could have had as many as I wanted. All right. All right. I could have did that, but what? We only had in this case, it's just me. So, but we could have named a lot. So did we do that already? Did we already do that? All y'all that's been here? Did we already do that? That's done, right? Okay. So these are the things, that's the evidence that this is in full effect. All right. So it's already done. Is it already done? All right, Clark, it's already done. Kendra's already done. Mr. Menace is already done. All right. Okay. All right. So, um, all right. So it's in full force and effect. Last page of the trust, signature pages, and letter of introduction for the trustee to the banking offices. All of this is inside the trust. So that's why when you go into the bank, everything is already done. The bank ain't got to do nothing except, I'm telling you in a second what they got to do. But they ain't got to do nothing for this trust. All right? Why? Because you don't need their help. Are you listening to me? Why? Because if they start helping you, that means that you're in trouble. Right, hear what I'm talking about? You don't go in there, don't you touch none, don't you do nothing for me. I don't need you to do nothing for me. I came in here correct. I came correct. Did you hear what I said? Everybody put CC in that chat. Because when you come into the bank, you come correct. You don't come in to get corrected. Are you listening to me? You come in correct. Are you hear what I'm talking about? Come on, put CC in the chat. We need y'all to start having some control up in this piece. Are you listening to me? CC, STD means seal the deal. That's what STD meant. Seal the deal. All right. All right. So COT means certificate of trust. I'm reading the certificate of trust page right now. All right. And what I'm telling you is that when you come in like this, you come complete. All right. You come complete. You come correct. Your stuff, all right. You don't need no help. Are you hearing me? Because if you need some help, you're going to be in big trouble. I don't know where you're going to go into a pimp to get some help. Are you hearing me? Somebody pimping you and you'll come to the pimp to get some help. Hell to the no, they ain't going to give you no help. Are you hearing me? And I'm not talking about the people behind the counter are vicious, mean people. I'm talking about they ain't got a clue about what's going on. Are you dig what I'm saying? And they start asking things because when they start trying to give you some help, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to be like, okay, and would you like some interest on this account? That's what they're going to do. When you walk in, they'll be like, you want some interest on this account? And by the way, I'm about to be out of here in 8 minutes over here. In a couple of minutes, I don't know how. Yeah, I only got 2 minutes left for y'all on Instagram. So y'all might want to switch over because I got 10 more minutes to teach y'all. So about 10 more minutes. So if y'all on Instagram and you don't know Rick Wealth Coach on YouTube or Stellar Wealth Management on Facebook, you're going to need to switch over. Because Instagram, I don't know what they own, but they stop people after an hour of teaching somebody. So I've been teaching y'all for an hour, even though I had only planned on talking to y'all for about 20 minutes. But what the heck? We having fun, all right? Okay. So y'all can switch over because I'm about to cut y'all off in a minute. All right. So these are the things that's on the certificate of trust page. All right. The last page of the trust, the signature pages. All right. And a letter of introduction for trustee to the banking offices. So everything's already in a trust. So the banking offices ain't got to do nothing for you. All right. They ain't got to do nothing for you. And just switch on over to YouTube. All right. Yeah. Rick the Wealth Coach on YouTube. Just switch on over. I'm live on there right now. All right. Or switch over to Facebook, Stellar Wealth Management. If you want to hear the rest of this. Okay. All right. Because they definitely going to cut y'all off. You got about 30 seconds left. Okay. All right. So, all right. So the trust provisions not attached to this trust certificate are of a private, non-negotiable nature and set forth for the distribution of the trust residents. They do not modify the general financial powers of the trustees. All right. So in other words, this is 100% private, I'm just teaching y'all the language. I'm reading you my trust. All right. Um, no, Marlo, my book doesn't have all that in it. My book is just an introduction to the idea of controlling everything. It's a good book. It's entertaining, and you'll dig it. You know what I'm saying? So, but hey, keep this video as a training. All right, keep this video as a training video, and all right, keep this video as a training video, and go back over. All right, that's a beautiful thing about these videos. They get recorded. So this is a training video here. This is $100 million video. All right, so go back over it and share it with your friends too. All right, all right. So because I ain't never read to nobody in the public my trust. It's the first time I ever did it. I just felt compelled to do it. You know what? You know what got into me? Being down here in Florida, and knowing 6 people just passed, just died, that just died in the storm. And the storm, God's so good until he let the storm come up in here and kill me and Shantae. He's so good, you know. We in Orlando, so it's okay here, and thank God. But when I think about us as a people, and I think about how frivolous our stuff is set up, it disturbs me. So I'm like, okay, your stuff is set up, Ricky. You know, your folks they in good shape, but but the average person ain't. The way their stuff is set up, it's a joke. Something happened to them. They just worked all their life for somebody else. That's the way most people's stuff set up. If something happened to them, they stuff set up for the next, not for the next generation, but the next generation of millionaires that's exploiting them. And that just ain't cool. All right. So that's why I'm reading y'all my my personal trust paper. All right. So um the trust provisions not attached to this trust are of a private, non-negotiable nature and set forth the distributions of trust residents. They do not modify the general financial powers of the trustees. So you can't put no muffle on the trustees. So no muffle. Are you hear what I'm saying? No muffle. Nobody can come in and muffle you. Are you digging what I'm saying? You said your mother was in Tampa. Okay, we pray that your mother's everything's okay, Rachel, with your mother. All right. You say my book is called Control Everything on Nothing. So just put control. Just put the word control if y'all want to get the book. Just put in a word control in the comments, and the link will automatically get sent to you. If you haven't read my book and you want to read it, control. That's all you got to do. Just put control in the comments, and it automatically comes to you. All right. But listen to this language right here, because I'm telling you, this is beautiful language. This is why can't nobody just come in and just jack me. And I'm making all this money, millions of dollars, and then somebody just come by and just jack up my estate, just take my stuff, and hey, ain't nothing happening. All right, ain't nothing happening. Anybody gonna do nothing that I don't want. All my wishes is what's gonna happen, and that's it. Okay, ain't nobody coming in and getting nothing because wait, I'm 100% in control. Are you hearing me? So, um, okay, let's see here. So let me read that one more time. Let me read that paragraph one so y'all can really get it. All right. The trust provisions not attached to the certificate of trust are of a private, non-negotiable nature. So that means that ain't nobody gonna be negotiating my trust when I'm dead. Ain't nobody gonna be negotiating nothing. Are you hearing me? They are negotiating Michael Jackson's estate right now. Why? Because he did not have this beautiful language in his trust. All right. His stuff what? This is stating that what? This is the certificate of trust. This seals the deal. You hear what I'm saying? That's what I said. STD meant seal the deal. This seals the deal right here. Ain't nobody finna come around later messing with Brother Ricky's estate. Are you hearing me? My estate is written in blood. You ain't about to come up in here doing, I'm sorry, rolling with you. I'm sorry, I don't have Audible. I apologize for that because my book should be on Audible. And I have no excuse other than I'm just a busy guy who keep forgetting. So thank you for reminding me. And I promise you I'll straighten it out, okay? I put it on Audible because that's how I listen to all my books. I don't hardly read anything. I hardly listen to everything on Audible and take notes. I have a few hard copy books, but I travel a lot. So I'm on a plane getting it in, listening and writing, listening and writing. So I apologize because it should be on audio by now. And I have really no plausible excuse. So my humblest apologies. But the answer to that right now is no. But it is an ebook. So, but you can't read it as an ebook. Right? Okay, it's an ebook and hard copy, depending on which one you want. Okay, so this is non-negotiable. See, this is very important. See, this is very important. Very important. All right. Are you hearing me? If you know that is very important, Somebody silly. Somebody I thought STD was. You did. We don't talk crazy like that. We're talking about sealing the deal around here. That's what STD stands for. But that's funny though. All right. All right. So but this part right here, don't sleep on this part right here, okay? Um it's the non-negotiable nature and set forth the distribution of the trust residence. All right. So it's non-negotiable what's inside of here. This is language. That's what that's what it means to have an irrevocable trust. You all have not been trained right. Because I see people right on these on social media talking about, well, you don't want an irrevocable trust. That means you can't change things later. I'm like, why would you say that? You ain't read. You absolutely do not have an irrevocable trust. How in the world would you? How can you teach something that you don't have? Are you hearing me? How can you teach something that you don't? If you don't have it, why would you teach about it? Don't teach something that you don't have. Why? Because that's blasphemy. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's misleading folk. That's the blind leading the blind. They both gonna fall into a ditch. Don't talk about stuff that you don't know nothing about. All right, just say I don't know anything about that. People ask me some questions, and sometimes I don't have the answer. So I just say I don't know. I don't understand. Hey, it's above my pay grade or whatever. I know what I know, and if I don't know it, I don't even try to fake like I know stuff I don't know. Why? Because you're just an unnecessary liar. And sooner or later, what? Everybody gonna know your pants on fire. You dig what I'm saying? All right. So, uh, so the irrevocable part, Marlo, is that what I'm reading to you right now. This is the language, and I got more language later in here that just straight up says that I'm just saying that I got more language later that just straight up says that the trust is irrevocable. That it just states that. But right now, I'm just giving you an idea. Right here in the certificate of trust, this is the implication of it right here. And the implication is that um, trust is private, of a non-negotiable nature. You're not going to come in here and negotiate nothing later. All right, ain't no negotiate. It is what it is. Now, because I'm the trustee, I can change whatever I want to change whenever I get ready. Because I'm the trustee and the grantor, I got what? Total control. Are you hearing me? And if I don't like what? I've already changed beneficiaries in my trust. Right. I'm like, okay, baby, you want to be the beneficiary? Okay, this is what you got to do. And then I had one of my children. I'm like, this is what you got to do to be the beneficiary. She wasn't doing it. So I switched it to somebody else. All right. I'm not gonna sit. Not gonna let my kids intimidate me about who I leave my money to. Did you hear what I said? Are y'all listening? You better not let your kids intimidate you about who you're gonna leave your money to. All you grown folk around here got kids and grandkids like me. You better not let them intimidate you about how you're gonna leave your money. You don't want to work for that money. And what? They better not be showing up all half baked and all that stuff. Some of y'all done spoiled y'all kids so bad until if they show up and they think you about to check out, they be sitting there looking, hey mama, how you doing? I'm doing okay, baby. Hey mama, you look a little thirsty. Can I pour you a drink? No, not you, not you. You won't be pouring me no drink. I know how you get down. Never mind. Your sister over there, she can pour it. Why? Because you know he about to poison your butt. He trying to hurry up and get you up out of here. You listen. You have an irrevocable trust. You the grantor. You the trustee. You got 100% control over what's going on. Are you digging what I'm saying? All right. You said any knowledge of allodial titles? I got. Um, I know that when titles turned into when titles in the early 1900s, everybody had an allodial title prior to when Woodrow Wilson became in office and they started doing the Social Security stuff. So yeah, but I got very vague knowledge of that though because I don't really handle that. All right, so here we are. They do not modify the general financial powers of the trustees. So you ain't about to handcuff the trustees. All right. So everybody put NHC, no handcuffs. All right. Ain't nobody handcuff you as a trustee when you got a private irrevocable trust. All right. So everybody put in the chat. Y'all ready? No handcuffs. You can put it all out there. Why? Because what? This is private, baby. You ain't finna handcuff me like that. Okay. I'm just ready to you. Okay. You can't modify the trustee. All right. The trustee got all power, baby. Are you hearing me? No handcuffs. All right. You say the signature of this certificate of trust, the signatures of this certificate of trust are the current acting trustees of the trust and declare that the foregoing statements and the attached trust provisions are true, correct, and complete under penalty of perjury under the laws of the United States of America. All right. Now, not the United States of the Corporation of America, but up under the laws of America, the actual United States of America, the real United States of America, because it's common law. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? So, how you doing, Jazz? God bless you. All right. So, this certificate of trust is dated this 31st day of January. So that's when I got my certificate of trust. All right. Here's the last page, and I'm gonna take Shantae out to dinner. All right. So, let's see. No, okay, we got that one already. All right. Got page number. Okay. Page number 6. All right. All right. Now. All right. Trustee appointment. We got that one. Okay. All right. Minutes. We got. Okay. Let me see. All right. I'm tripping. Hold on a second. So after you get all of that, this is all you got to take into the. This is all you got to do when you go into a bank. I'm looking for my signature page. So all I do, this is all I show. When I go into a bank, I just show 6 pages of my trust. And then I give them this signature. It's 30 pages. But it ain't none of their business because it's a private contract. All right. Not that I got anything to hide. That ain't the point. But the point is that my business ain't your business. Okay. I'm just being nice to y'all today, reading y'all just the first few pages of my trust. All right, without telling y'all who my beneficiaries are and all that. But okay, 5, 6. All right, okay, so here's the signature page. All right. All right. The undersigned certify that the above declaration of trust was signed, declared, and published by Rick Williams, trustee, and Rick Williams, grantor. Don't y'all love that? Don't y'all love that? We double protection. You know what? Everybody like a what you say, code? Don't take your trust to a bank. They are not a higher tier that gives you. No. When we take our trust in, it's already done. And so code mommy, when we take our trust into the bank, it's already done, baby. The deal is already sealed. They don't have to do nothing for us except open up non-interest bearing account, irrevocable account. That's all they got to do at the bank. All right. That's the only job they got. All right. So, and that's the last thing. That's the last note I'm gonna leave with y'all. So the undersigned certified that the above declaration trust was signed, declared, and published by Rick Williams, trustee, and Rick Williams, grantor, as their declaration of the trust in our presence, and that we, in their presence and in the presence of each other, have signed our names as witnesses thereto, believe in the declarant of to be of sound mind at the time of signing. See, this is what irrevocable trust does. It say this brother was in a sound mind when he signed this, and it ain't no negotiating. So ain't nobody coming back here later on declaring what they're doing to Michael Jackson now, what they're doing to his estate. They say, you know what? We reevaluated this, and you really owe us $700 million. We reevaluated your situation. You owe us $700 million. Are you kidding me? What kind of reevaluation? How do you make a $700 million mistake? Hey, y'all know that's game. Everybody put in the chat. That's game. Come on, I'm gonna finish this last thing about when you walk to the bank. Come on. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. I've been talking to y'all for an hour and 13 minutes. Come on, wake me back up. I gotta take Shantae out to eat. All right. Come on. Ain't that game? Who in the world make a $700 million mistake? Are you hearing me? I'm talking about reality around here right now. I ain't got no church up in here. Come on, y'all know that's game. Come on, that's game, Kim. Come on, Mr. Minister, that's game. Come on, Jamil, that's game. Let's go. Natalia, that's game. Come on. Karen, that's game. Come on, Kendra, you know that's game. Ain't nothing but game. You gonna tell a $700 million misevaluation? Come on, Paul, that's game. Y'all know that's game. That ain't nothing but game. You gonna tell me to take we made a $700 million mistake. We need to reevaluate this. If you write that, K. Jones, that ain't nothing but game. You know, it ain't nothing but game. You know why? You know why they got away with it though? Because of the language of that trust that he had. That's why they got away with it, because he had a revocable. What? He had a revocable trust. He had a little poo butt trust. All right? A poo butt revocable living trust is what he had. Are you hearing me? Wasn't worth the paper it was written on. And why? And here we are 15 years later, and now they're gonna talk about we need to make an adjustment. They ain't talking about they need to make. It's one thing for a person to come in and tell you they need to adjust your back. It's another thing for the person to come in and say they need to take your foot and wrap it around your neck. You're like, what kind of adjustment is that, player? That don't sound like no adjustment. That sounds like you're trying to kill me. You hear what I'm talking about? And that's what they're trying to do to that estate. $700 million. Man, please. 700 million? Are you kidding me? What, 15 years later? Ain't nothing but playing games with that brother stuff. Why? Because he didn't have the beautiful language. He doesn't have the beautiful language uh, uh, of a common law, tax-free, irrevocable trust. All right. So hopefully that helps you all this afternoon. Again, if you want to get to know me better, uh, just put challenge in the chat and come to the challenge. All right. The next one is coming up in November. I would just sign up now while you're thinking about it instead of wasting time, and just come to the challenge. And if you haven't read my book, then just put control in the chat, and you can read my book. All right, that's my first book that I wrote. Real simple, get your head into the game of what's going on around here. Now, when you get to the bank, you got everything already done. Now, what the bank is going to do when you sit down, they're going to say, "Okay, cool, we got you all set up. Your stuff is irrevocable. Bam, you good to go. Now, how much interest can we put you in one of our interest accounts?" That's what they're gonna do. All right, they're gonna be like, "Can I put you in one of my interest accounts?" And I'm like, "No, you can't put us in your interest account because why? Because you're trying to jack up everything I did. I came in here. You don't say all this while you're in the bank. Just talking about this is the banker don't listen. The banker don't know. The person that's sitting behind the counter, they ain't even got no irrevocable trust. So they don't know no better. All right, they ain't like they mean spirited, like they hate you, trying to mess your life up and all that. They just trying to do what they've been trained on, and that's what to give you some interest. But they don't know why they've been trained like that. They don't realize that the reason they're trying to give you some interest so bad is so that your money can be sold on the stock exchange, and so what? And so that now your life is public instead of private, because if your stuff is revocable, it's public. So even if you got an irrevocable trust and you go into the bank and they open up a revocable bank account, you just blew everything, and you take some interest and you just blew everything. So you ain't interested in any interest. So everybody put it in the chat, and then I'm gonna let y'all out of here. So put down not interested. All right. Okay. You interested in getting rich. You ain't interested in no 1% interest. All right. So put down not interested. All right. And then I'm gonna let y'all go. Y'all ready? All right. That's the last part of this training for you today. All right. If this helps you, if this really helps you and you're not subscribed on YouTube, then can you subscribe for me? Can you do that now while we're talking? If this helps you and you're not subscribed on YouTube, and if you listen to me on YouTube, can you help can y'all can you do that now while we're talking about it? Can you just, and if you did it, just put subscribe in the chat so I can know that you did it. Okay. All right. So not interested in y'all interests because you my account after I did everything I was supposed to do. I went to class. I'm cold blooded. I came up in here strapped, and I ain't about to come up in here strapped and end up being stripped. That ain't about to happen. All right. So y'all good? Everybody good? All right. Well, I love you all. You all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful afternoon. Thank you so much for praying for everybody in Florida. It's been a rough couple of days. Some people actually lost their lives, and but we blessed here, and thank God. Thank you, Mr. Menace, for subscribing. If anybody else subscribed, just put subscribed in the chat so I can say thank you. Okay, and but we've been here. I mean, it was whistling. Thank you, Jamel. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I appreciate the subscriptions. It helps the algorithm, and so the video will be sent out to more people, so more people can get some help. Because if you got some help today, then I'm sure you want to see other people get some help. So the more people subscribe. My name on YouTube is Rick the Wealth Coach. Rick the Wealth Coach. It's Rick the Wealth Coach on YouTube. It's Rick the Wealth Coach on all social media things. But if you're on Facebook, you're probably watching me under Stellar Wealth Management. That's the name of our company. All right. So thank you so much. Thank you, Natalia. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank all of you, because you don't have to subscribe. That's kind of you. I appreciate that. Rolling with J1. I appreciate that. Okay. I appreciate you. All right. Yeah, and this don't worry about it. This live is going to be recorded. and you can watch it. You can watch it as many times as you want to. Okay. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So it was whistling out here last night. How you watch some scary movies. You hear that woo. The name on YouTube is Rick the Wealth Coach. You all, Rick the Wealth Coach. If you'll subscribe, I'd appreciate that. Um, Man, that stuff was whistling last night out there. It was like a scary movie. It was like Friday the 13th. I was like, gee whiz. But thank God no windows came in. Nobody got hurt here. And so it's a blessing. All right. Um, Done. Thank you. Have a good one. Okay. You all have a great day as well. All right. Everybody be blessed in the city. Everybody be blessed in the field. We'll be checking in with you again sometime soon. Love you all. Ain't nothing you can do about that. And remember, a stellar is a stellar does. Have a fantastic day. Thank you, Lamont. I appreciate that. Thank all of you. Have a wonderful day. Appreciate you.